Magnus is slowly becoming an okay to good heel for TNA. The way he got the crowd involved in what he was saying, got a negative reaction out of them, was very nicely done. Yes, he may have concentrated on the crowd a bit too much instead of what he was trying to say, but it worked. It got him a reaction. And then he mentions MVP, how he's at the bottom of the pile while him and the Carters are at the top. I thought that was good because this brings on to MVP coming out, and with TNA concentrating on making him a big part of TNA, like a centerpiece almost. I really like wrestlers talking up to him, down to him, really bringing the chance for MVP to come out of his wrestling role and speak out, which the crowd really liked. It felt like they gave him the positive reaction, they were chanting for him. And MVP on the mic, I don't care what people are trying to work out why he shouldn't be in this job role. The fact he's in it and it works, I'm liking it. Yes, it needs to make sense for it to follow through in our minds, but it's working for TNA, as you see in this show and probably the future shows coming. And we get the announcement that obviously at Lockdown, we're going to have Magnus, the current World Heavyweight Champion, versus Samoa Joe. But then the surprise happens. Gunner wants to cash in his briefcase next week. So after retaining it in a match against EC3, which turned into a tag team match, which it should have been in the first place, he retained his World Heavyweight Championship briefcase, and him and Storm, I can't believe I'm saying this, are back to be the number one contenders for the Tag Team Championships in a match that you could basically see that EC3 is trying his hardest to be noticed. He does not want to be pushed back of the line. He wants to make a name for himself. He wants to prove that whatever other wrestlers can do, for example Magnus, he could do better. And with the EC3 character still in the early days of his time in TNA, these matches, these moments, is going to help him be noticed. I'm not sure how far the EC3 character is going to go, but I'm liking his involvement against the bigger names and the teasing of a face turn as he leaves Dixie Carter. But the thing I noticed was, what the hell was wrong with Gunner in that match? Did he get knocked on his head too hard? Because when it came to the end of the match, he was stumbling like crazy. A conversation that regularly pops up between wrestling fans are things that are overdone, done more than they should be. And one thing that I've noticed, especially in WWE, are lawyers. When one wrestler brings in a lawyer to try and take down another wrestler or the boss. And that's what we almost got this week on Impact. We had Rockstar Spud threatening to bring lawyers to take down MVP. And MVP says this great line, which I'm pretty sure many people would say: people don't pay to see lawyers, people pay to see wrestlers wrestle. That is so true, and I just thought that was brilliant. That put an end to the stupid tease of lawyers getting involved in this. And then we get to the match where the Wolves with Samoa Joe defeat Bromans, as they should. This is more concentrating on getting Samoa Joe on TV and also to give the Wolves a win and a tease as they build themselves up towards the tag team championships. In the world of wrestling, I really look for and hope for continuous good booking for the monstrous characters, because I believe they're there to make the faces, the younger talent, the newer talent really work, really bring out the best in them, put them over. And with Joseph Parks turning back to Abyss, or Abyss losing track of who he is brilliant. If TNA can continue this monstrous build, I feel the Abyss could still be there as a character to support and to be used to put over so much more talent. Unless there's another monstrous character that could eventually come back with Abyss, because after Abyss talks down to Eric Young and, you know, one minute wanting his help, next minute not, feeling confused. He mentions about leaving, taking time out. Could Abyss be going to work on his monster character or go and find another monster to bring in back with him? Because he did say, I need to find someone who understands me. I think this could be really great. A monstrous tag team or just another monster to be in TNA as well as Abyss. So if TNA can continue working on the monster Abyss, I feel this could be a really good thing to look out for, especially for the younger talent, newer talent, and faces. The only thing I would have done differently in this promo was have the brave Eric Young eventually start to show fear as the promo from Abyss went on. TNA are showing good concentration on numerous wrestlers to build up a character and a storyline for them. Like Rockstar Spud, a newer wrestler who's got a centre part almost in TNA, ends up looking like he's brave, tough, standing up to the second boss of the company, MVP, only for MVP, who's not washed up, to squash Rockstar Spud in a match. And again, you saw how much the crowd liked MVP. So we've got this working MVP as a wrestler and a boss of the company who later gets told by Dixie that's got to stop. But, it was good to see the crowd reacting so positively to MVP and for MVP to show if the time comes, you still got it in a way. What's the best way to let your ex know things are completely over between you two? I'll tell you, you hire yourself an overgrown bodyguard, male or female, depending on what sex you go for, to come in and just destroy and lay out your ex. It's the best way, believe me. And that's exactly what happened on Impact. Chris Sabin, after having a comedy segment between him and Velvet, protecting himself with a shield over his privates after Velvet Sky tries to low blow him before actually low blowing him and just beating Chris Sabin down. This overgrown alpha knockout comes in and just lays out Velvet Sky. So is this going to be a replacement for Lady Tapper, who, to be honest, is not really working out, to come in and be the next big knockout to watch out for? Is this going to be, going back to what I was saying about Abyss, the monstrous character to support the knockouts? If so, with Chris Sabin by your side, or with your size and body strength, hopefully TNA will continue good booking for you. Before the big casket match between Buddy Ray and Mr. Anderson Anderson, I've got a question. How stupid did TNA make Mr. Anderson look? He left his bag, his possessions, out in the open. He left his phone unlocked, which allowed Buddy Ray to contact his wife to say the next time you see your husband, he's going to be in a coffin, and tell the kids that their father says goodbye. I thought that was a stupid move, but it did allow Buddy Ray to continue his heel promo and his heel work against Anderson's family when Anderson had a promo who said that this is not about caskets, it's about family, which is something that Buddy Ray hasn't got. Yes, it was a slight remark to do the Ace and Eights being killed off, which we're all happy for, but I'm glad that TNA Anderson was trying to make it something more than that. I'm going to say this. After the match where Buddy Ray comes out with a Liverpool shirt on to go against the Manchester fans and for the blood to be added to the match, the table to be added to the match, the fact that either man could have won this match, I really felt that we're having the old Buddy Ray look great again. Fans are getting some feeling for Anderson, and I felt this match was brilliant. I enjoyed this. Forget about the Ace and Eights part. I felt this feud. I felt this match. The first part, the main event segment, made me laugh. You have Dixie Carter trying to buy MVP shares. And with the amount of fans who think TNA's going out of business, somehow Dixie Carter's got all this money and enough to pay MVP for him to sell his shares to her. That made me laugh to begin with. But I'm glad the promo got stronger as it went on. Then we have MVP, a character who I believe could offer so much more for the company, refused. He scrunched up the contract and threw it away. And he insisted they have a lethal lockdown match, 4-on-4, and the winning team will take over TNA. And I feel that MVP should win this. We've had Dixie Carter. She may be getting better. She may be appearing on TV more. But yes, it's nice to have a heel general manager, a heel person running things. But MVP is getting a positive reaction. He's got a really strong character. He's showing that he's good on the mic and he's good at what he's doing. So I'm leaning a bit more towards MVP here. I'd be interested on the outcome of this match. And I've kind of worked out who would be in the four teams. In the face team, we have the Wolves, Anderson, and Bobby Roode, who early in the night really got frustrated that he weren't getting his World Championship match with which Dixie promised him, even though he had the number one contendership and lost it. But then he announced that it's over, it's through, he can't take this anymore. So I'm thinking that MVP is going to bring him back and maybe promise him a World Championship match, or put him in his team for Bobby Roode to be in a good spot at a pay per view. And in the Hills team, I felt this is gonna be a weaker team. EC3, who could possibly turn on his team, Rockstar Spud, Buddy Ray. That's the Buddy Ray and Anderson thing continuing for one more match. And Chris Sabin. I really struggled to think who would want to team up with Dixie Carter to help her continue. Of course, this would be a great chance to give them a hot spot in TNA. None other than Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. Well, they're my choice for the team. Let me know who you think will be in the team in the comment section below. And that's been another TNA review, a late review from me, NJ. Thank you very much for watching, and